And hello, everyone, and welcome to this year's very last live stream from SES Software, from our new studio, from our new home to where our company moved this year as well. And here with me in the studio is my colleague Mark, vehicle production coordination coordinator and consultant.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you have a long title. You need to shorten it up.
Yeah. I mean, what would we shorten it to, though? Just resident truck
Just
driver
vehicle.
or vehicles?
Just vehicle.
Just vehicle, okay.
One
I am vehicle. Hello, good to see you, chat.
And here with us is also a special guest, Pavel, the CEO of SCS Software. Pavel, how are you today?
Good, thank you. Thanks for bringing me in again.
Again?
You know, it was a couple of weeks ago I was
it
already here.
was in Greece release stream, right? You've been a guest as well. Awesome.
Oh,
well,
thanks.
that is, and today, those who are joining us for the first time, every year we do this special Christmas live stream at the very end of the year, in which we kind of are thinking about all stuff we did for our games during the year, then also contributing towards the currently active Christmas event, if there is any. Like this year, we have this amazing Return to Winterland Christmas event, to which Mark is going to try to contribute tonight. You're going to be our driver tonight.
Yep, I've got a Volvo FH6 here in Winterland. Going to try that out for the first time myself and get some loads delivered.
I think you created a nice composition there with the Christmas tree, with the train even going behind you, like nice, good job.
I do screenshots, so I got the framing down,
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, and also if you guys were waiting for the stream to start during the countdown, we kind of put a short, not really final video of all we did for our games this year to help you make the waiting for the stream to start a little bit better for you, but also to remember and to remind you all the great stuff we did through this year for Euro Truck Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator. And as you can see, the video is going there now as well. We are kind of trying something new with this stream to have a new way of picture-in-picture, so maybe we will keep that video running there, and we can straight dive into the topic of maybe remember and remind people few things we did for our games this year. And my questions for you guys, if you would have to pick one content project, release, whatever, SCS on the episode, stream, whatever we did this year that you like the most, what it would be?
You want to go first, Pavel?
No.
Okay.
Such a hard question. I mean,
I think as far as content, I'm a little biased in this regard because the Driving Academy, which I had a little bit.
You've been heavily involved in that one.
Very minor hand. The other guys did a lot more work than me, but it was. For me, it feels like it was like brand new gameplay that we brought. It was something like brand new.
It's kind of true.
Obviously, everyone works so hard on all the content we produce, and it's always great to see, of course. But like this, brand new kind of opening the door to brand new concept. That was, for me, is probably the highlight of the year as far as content. But as far as like streams and stuff like that, or on the road episodes, Mac for me.
Which one?
When we were there and we got to drive the Pinnacle and break the anthem,
break the trailer. Yeah. Really, you choose this, man?
I didn't have fun breaking it, but that whole experience making that video was a lot of fun.
Did you hear about it, Pavel? Our former truck driver for 14 years had one chance to drive a Mack Pinnacle truck at their testing facility, and he broke their trailer.
I didn't. Okay, I didn't break it. It just broke when I was in it.
Okay.
Why are you always trying to make me look bad, man?
I mean, you're the one to choose this experiment. Experience.
How do I answer this politically correctly? Because we have so many teams, so many projects,
True.
And whatever I pick, maybe somebody else would feel like I'm not giving them enough love. I would think not picking a particular individual vehicle. I think for me this year was crazy in the amount of vehicles and overall trailer packs and all that we released. Never ever before have we been so successful in completing projects. There were in some cases running for years, and finally it clicked in place. Like not everything we hoped for it was even released. We had some things that we even hinted at before, but for some whatever technical or legal or approval or whatever reasons are still happening to be under development. But that was a crazy year, and I'm really proud that the vehicle team is now really running so well, producing great content. We have all the cooperations that with partners are now based on CAD files or really detailed photogrammetry. So the kind of the professionalism of overall of vehicle creation is now at like the next level compared to many previous years that we've been through, sometimes being able to produce 1 or 2 vehicles. Now it works very well. So, and people will remember great trucks for American Truck Simulator. Just recently, in the last week, 2 new, like 3, but 2 new manufacturers were represented by several new vehicles in Euro Truck. So, wow, what a year from that point of view.
True.
And you said pick one. I mean, there's those map expansions introduced, those major reworks. Like
true as well.
I was watching the rough cut video of the wrapping of our year that was running just before this. I was watching it earlier today, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, I recall these individual things, but seeing it all in combination, wow, that was what a year. I mean, there was so much stuff happening. So how do I pick? It's all
true.
So much, effort, so much love poured into it. So I don't want to pick, but I want to remind myself that even though we know of we would like to do even more, we would like to be even smarter about how we work and all that, but we definitely try hard, and sometimes we do come up with something to release. That was great.
Would you say when comparing it to the previous years that the teams now work more smoothly, or is it because of course more manpower or more people? The company is multiple times bigger than 5 years back or something like that, or because this year, or to me at least, every year feels like we did more than the previous year, and we are raising bar.
We are growing, so it had better be somehow
visible
in the results. But in a way, yes, we are we have better tools, we have good people, or better process. Is it good enough? I think it could be better. I think a lot of it comes with personal sacrifices, with effort, working harder, not necessarily always smarter, where we would probably want to be. Sometimes it's really the sacrifice is the effort to make some date, especially when it comes to dates that we agree upon with industrial partners and need to hit because we nailed them down half a year ahead and hoped for them to be safe, but in the end turn out to be really close calls. This is not really a great practice because it takes a toll on the team and on the individuals. So yeah, it's better, but mostly it's brute forcing it by the manpower. I wish, and this is in a way a goal of ours for the next year, to discuss how to be really better and smarter about combining it all together, because this animal of SCS, which is now 360 something employees plus a lot of contributors who are contractors, whole satellite studios sort of that work for us abroad. This is well over 400 people contribute to both our games on a daily basis. That's a monster of a team. That's a monster of a project overall. So it's like a big ocean liner to take a turn or something takes a while. Everything is now more complex, and we would prefer to be, I would love to be kind of actually more agile, being able to iterate faster, do things better. So you're never, as a manager, you're never finished. You always look at improvements. So yes, we are doing well. Yes, we are producing more, but it's really not so easy as it may seem. And people have heard from us over the years. We hope for this to see next year. We hope for that. And sometimes we just don't really deliver on our hopes. We try not to be promising things and then being sorry for over-promising and under-delivering. Sometimes we hint and we hope, but I would like to be better about it. So that's.
So do you think we will maintain the pace or even upgrade it or improve it into the years to come? Or do you think that, for example, our tries to become or bring our games to other platforms as well will need to teach us a different approach to projects? Or
I think we'll need to, our process, our testing, our release pipeline, all these like technicalities. We need to improve there and become even more professional. On Steam, you can get away with many things. Should we ever be a multi-platform developer, which we hope will be, you need to be way more rigorous, way more formal in a way, way less kind of let's fly and see with a hot fix tomorrow. So that may be a push towards some sort of better process too, just by necessity. But that's something that's still not a topic for today or for tomorrow. That's a topic for the next year or next years, to be better, to better serve our needs, our community, our visions. But yeah, you're never done. You always need to look for improvements, and let's do that.
And you've mentioned like also the big kind of projects that were not like as a purchasable DLCs, those reworks of California or Germany we did this year, and all the vehicles that we created also, and all the updates we created. All this content comes to the game, like let's say as a free content. And I know you keep yourself well informed and you watch the statistics and everything. Do you think, or do you see that it actually really helps the games and the genre, that it brings more people every year to the games? Or
I would hope. We don't do much telemetry collection, really. Our players know that our game doesn't really do what is currently industry standard, sort of like inform back to base on whatever the player is doing. We may consider it one day, because like we may need more information about how our players are playing the game. Right now we don't do it. So we are just, flying by the seam of our pants, whatever the idiom is. We are just trying to kind of guess whatever people want, how they react. What I believe is that we need to engage our fans by content, sometimes paid, sometimes just like a goodwill investment. And I think we are doing a solid job with it. Absolutely. I mean, people who purchased the game for a few dollars, a few euros 8 years ago still get updates, still get the platform moving forward.
Events,
so I think the perception of us as a developer is good from that point of view. Whether it's a good business decision, whether we should like push harder for monetization, or whether we should like find a different business model altogether, subscription based or whatever, that all may happen one day. Like industry is changing, the trends are changing. At one point it looked like everything is going to be the freemium business model. Before then everything looked like it's all on Facebook, gaming is on Facebook, this is where the money is. Now the money is on mobiles. I don't know, we are trying to be a stable kind of thing for people in their life. They are in many cases loyal to us for years. So I think what we are doing and will be doing still to have this hybrid approach where the platform itself is moving forward, while we are from time to time asking our fans to consider buying this bit or that bit of content to complement the platform, to expand their like building blocks, whatever puzzle. It works for us so far, and I think we'll want to continue expanding, improving. Also, just introducing the vehicles into the game totally makes sense from the partnership point of view with industries. So when you put a new vehicle into the game, your OEM partner, they want to see 100,000 people playing it the next day in our game, not to be like behind some paywall for extra friction for people to, maybe they would consider buying, maybe not, but for us it worked really well to attract the partnerships, or to maintain and nurture the partnerships with industry, to have the vehicles coming to the game as a goodwill gesture from everybody.
Do you think we are like improving ourselves in that ground? Like, especially to me, it felt this year that we did so many new ways of cooperations with partners and in the industry in general.
Yeah.
Like I remember the streaming from IEA and stuff like that. And like
I remember many things we did through this year and the previous one and the previous one. You guys are crazy. I mean, the team that's doing the traveling circus, the show, now including Mark, that's crazy demanding. People may not be aware when you see those episodes of SCS on the road, how much time, how many days on the road, how many dialogues with partners to set up the trip and all that
How many
this means.
screw ups on the
So-
way we need to solve sometimes.
Yeah, so
and from the outside looking in, it looks like it's all fun and games, and it looks like it's great. Oh, you're touring this facility and meeting with this manufacturing partner and all that, right? And this is just like from my point of view, where I'm mostly just looking at trucks and getting reference material and breaking them. Like for you and Oscar, like it is almost a nightmare how much you guys have crammed into these business trips and how much you guys have to accomplish and all that. Like kudos to you guys for getting it all done.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean-
thanks. Like, I mean, me and Oscar were counting it, and I believe we were on travels more than 120 days this year, which is almost a third a year.
Yeah, it's
You know,
you are almost no longer a tax resident of the country abroad so long time. Yeah, it's really crazy. I mean, we may be overextending this you a bit over we may need to look at this and see if the team should grow further or
I
if
mean,
we
now
need to
we
be
have
everywhere
Mark,
in
right, to
person.
help us
I mean, in some ways, I think it may be fun. You guys are still young and you are still like growing into the opportunities that the world is offering you. But in a way, I think it must be taking a toll on your personal life. I know it does. I mean, we've discussed this before with you, with Oscar.
yeah.
It's difficult. So we are doing absolutely a great job working with our partners from that point of view, because they see how passionate you are. You're authentic. You're not just some guys coming to some like trip. You are there because you care, because they see that we care, that our community cares. We do manage to communicate that the community is passionate about their brands, their trucks and all that. So we have become way better accepted over the years. I could claim that every
feel-
year that it gets
I feel
better,
so,
and it
yeah.
does get better.
Yeah.
So I found it funny when you mentioned that at IAA you come to a booth and somebody who is there says, you know what, I've been waiting for you. Where have you been? Why haven't you approached us earlier?
Yeah,
We were ready
yeah.
for that. Let's find a way to cooperate. And nowadays, and they are lucky in that, nowadays a lot of people at the other side of the table, at OEMs and manufacturers, industrial partners, are actually an age where they grew up playing our games,
Yeah.
be the 18 Wheels of Steel
They're
previously or
definitely more
or
open
Euro
to
Truck.
games.
So
and
they understand what the game is about, how it relates to the passion of the
how can they use it as
vehicle
a
enthusiast,
PR
how-
marketing? Yeah.
you know, it's brand awareness, it's introducing new vehicles on the market day one.
Yeah.
All these opportunities now kind of are in the air with them. They understand them, and I love it. It's great. I mean, it was my responsibility 10 plus years ago to come, knock on the doors, make the phone calls, like back at the booth at some expo, and it was not so easy. It was a different world. And I'm so happy to have you now, guys, to do most
thank
of
you.
the travel, most of the chats.
Thank you so much.
And
but
I
it's-
can just, enjoy the results. And sometimes I'm invited too, of course, to these discussions, but I don't have to handle it personally. And you guys are doing such a great job. So
Thanks a lot. But
Great.
I just wanted to say, like, it's not only our or the crew that travels. We always are the messengers there, kind of, and the faces. But it always works because our teams here, make sure that the content is ready when it needs to be ready, that the builds are built, that it's tested, that it's created, it's perfect quality. So it's always a teamwork, kind of. We are just there to put
Tip
a
of the
face on
spear.
it, some
Okay.
kind of. But Mark, you recently returned from a kind of extensive business trip as well. You were like 3 weeks ago, right? Do you still like it?
For me, it's not so bad. I would say probably as is for you guys, because for 14 years before this, I was gone for at least a week at a time every time I went to work. And I was living out of a little tin box behind my truck, behind my seats, right? Now getting to travel and like actually stay in a hotel room and have a shower and a toilet like
It's
within
actually an upgrade.
yeah, it's a big upgrade. So for me, it's still really like super interesting and getting to go to these places where for example in February this year we went to the Peterbilt factory.
That was February?
February, March, yeah.
Okay.
And that was the place where
Your beloved trucks.
three of my
Yeah.
trucks were built. So getting to go see that place, getting to go see where my my little trucks were born. it's really cool, and you know that's
Emotional.
yeah. It's an opportunity I never would have had if not for this position at SES and you guys taking the chance on me. So for me, the business trips are still really quite interesting. I'm really excited every time there's a chance for a new one. But it's true, by the end of the business trip, it's you're missing home, you're missing your own bed, and you're missing this mahjong.
You're happy that you can spend a week or two in the office again.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, by the way, this guy can park talking to us and looking sideways.
14 years, man.
Okay.
Hopefully I learned something in that time, right?
Okay. So you're definitely authentic.
I think just a side question to you, Mark, regarding to your parking and reversing. Like I probably asked you this question a few times already in different streams, but comparing to real world and in game from you with your experience, is it like almost the same or similar or?
It's very close. There's some little nuances you can't get, and I would say no game really does it well. For example, when you're reversing and the way the suspension can handle, depending on the road surface you're on, if there's a little bit of an inclination one way or another.
So you're not that connected to the vehicle, right?
You
like you would be in real world, because you would be feeling that your wheel is driving on a different surface, or
not so much that. I'm talking more like how the trailer will handle, right? So for us, it's kind of a little bit simplified, gamified way the trailer handles. So if I'm like backing up, the trailer will pretty much always pivot on the middle of the axle group, right? In real life, one of the tires might just decide, I've got more grip right now, so now all of a sudden the trailer's pivoting a different way than it did 5 seconds ago, right? The way the truck engages the clutch, in our game it's always very lovely and very smooth. In real life, especially if the clutch is hot, if you just come from doing some city driving, the clutch can get very grabby and the truck can kind of start hopping and stuff like that. So there's these little nuances that are, definitely going to be different from real life. And like I said, nobody is able to kind of recreate this well. But the basics are there. Like I said before in the Driving Academy streams, like people are able to come and back up a trailer on their maybe not very first try, but like you can see they have the skill, they have the understanding of how the trailer handles when reversing, just because they played our game. And people that didn't play the game or have never played any kind of video game, they come and they hop in a vehicle, and if they never had to back up their dad's boat trailer or RV, they've got no clue. And which way do I turn the wheel? And we'll just look in the mirror and figure it out, right? You have some guy who played American Truck Simulator. He just hangs out the window and he's backing up like he's been driving for 10 years already, right? So it does translate a lot of it for sure.
Oh yeah, me and you, we've been kind of witnesses to this during the Star Nation experience, right?
Yeah.
And those two guys from the community, like
and Connor especially.
Okay,
yeah.
Brandon has some experience because he was driving a truck, but Connor had never sat in one in real life, and he was beating all those truck drivers, including you, at some of the activities and tasks. So the overlap is definitely there.
Absolutely, yeah.
But mentioning the Driving Academy, that's kind of a thing that we did this year, and that was a kind of a new thing out of our regular production pipeline. How to say it? Like, we do like map DLCs and vehicles and kind of that. But Driving Academy was kind of a new gameplay, as Mark said. Do you guys watch the feedback upon it? Do you think that it actually did hit what the purpose we was kind of like hoping for it to have, or do you see a future with that?
The project was actually restarted multiple times at SES because over the years it was always kind of my wish for something like that. We had this signal from not so much even community, but from the various driving schools and associations and various trade bodies that it would be a good idea to do something with our game that will go towards professional even training. And there was always like a question of opportunity cost or kind of priorities. And anytime we tried to start something like that, we eventually had to take the people to the project that were really critical for us to survive as a business in a way, to do critical work. But this past 2 years, we finally had a group of people who were really willing to dedicate their time and able and allowed or supported in dedicating their time to the project. And I'm super happy that we came up with like this first iteration of it, this trial balloon in a way, because we'll see what happens next. The team is always like excited about continuing with more packs of content, and we'll definitely come up with something next year. I would even go as far as to claim that it's possibly crucial for us in maintaining the momentum with our industrial partners and the industry at large, because now when you pitch a game to a tentative partnership, you must explain, okay, this is a game where you kind of play this career mode and earn money and all that. How easier it would be, and it is now to pitch to say, people actually learn practicable skills in hopefully well organized way, or like a curriculum
lesson by
lesson. Yeah. It's actually now a motivational, even so it's not certified, and we make sure we state that it's not yet official training tool. It may evolve into one in some way, or a version of it may split into something that will be really useful for the industry as a practical training application. So here's that hoping that it will raise our profile with the industry. Here's the hoping that it will actually teach some people some valuable skills in a sandbox environment, not necessarily that they would have to play the game proper as the career mode. So it's even useful for developing skills that I feel like great about this fact. And it may become a business opportunity one day too if we keep on evolving it. So the feedback from the community, we are looking into it. The feedback from the various industries, we are looking at it. I think it's a slow thing to pick up, to people become aware of it outside, beyond our base of fans. But I do have quite some hopes. Actually, I was wishing for this to happen like a decade ago, before American Truck was launched, and we had this huge trouble of landing any single one official license in the US, because we were kind of these little guys from Europe wishing for like blessing from a big American corporation, and we had a really hard time getting traction. And I thought, if we only had something like that in the game, how easier it would be to pitch it, because they would be buying it easier, like a concept for needing their vehicles to be there, not just like getting persuaded, but just willing to have them there. Now I think, again, we are already doing good with most of the partnerships, but this may be even more important for us to be perceived as an overall tool that has the ability to entertain people as well as to educate and improve their skills. I think it's pretty much positioning us in a better way than before. So I'm so glad it happened. I'm so glad we finally have like the first version out, and we'll see how we can tweak it further.
Sure. What about you, Mark? You're still involved in that team, right? So without spoiling way too much, are you guys already working on something new?
Yeah, we've got a prototype in place right now that's in testing. Without saying too much, there's definitely new stuff coming.
Okay.
It's not going to be, mind-blowingly different or anything, but definitely a next step in the right direction, and I would say a good step, like a good big step. We're not just recycling scenarios or it's not more of the same. So expect something new. Expect something. I think everyone will be pleasantly surprised when it finally comes.
Cool. Sounds exciting.
I was dreaming one day, and I thought, what if we make this serious thing, but what if we even go like crazy and offer some packs of crazy challenges that are like over the top. Like I see some YouTube videos where people drive on these thin narrow roads or something, and actually there must be some fun in it. Right?
People are doing it.
People are doing it. What if we came up with our own like angle on some crazy stuff? That's not realistic. That's like artificial,
but it's
trucks on a space platform or whatever. I don't know. to challenge people's skills, and you learn the motor skills are still involved. You learn something about the vehicle behavior, the maneuvering, and all that. So who knows? Maybe we will be keeping it super serious, or maybe we'll also expand it to some craziness for fun.
I think there's some merit there towards the crazy stuff, because I think some of the best drivers in the world are the ones who, started out by placing, trays from fast food restaurants under their rear wheels and then pulling the handbrake up so they could do donuts and skids. You learn car control that way, right? Like even for us in Canada, it's very common for parents to almost encourage kids, hey, it just snowed, go out and do donuts.
I mean,
because
someone in chat is asking for drifting trucks, so
yeah. But I mean, like, you know, I've broken a few axle shafts over the year. You know, I've took out a bumper in a snowbank. But I mean, you know, I learned car control when I was young with my, you know, little $700 Jeep.
beat ups.
Yeah, and in the end, I think it made me a better driver for sure. You know, even driving truck, like, you know, when I was just starting out in my, you know, when I was 21, 22, there was probably times I took some risks that I definitely wouldn't take today. And those were things that, you know, gave me the, like you said, the motor skills and the confidence and the control, right? Like, you know, I remember one time coming around, I was on 94, coming into Kalamazoo, and it was snowing quite bad. The roads looked like this, what we're seeing on screen right now. And the trailer started pushing me sideways. I was coming around like a slight bend, and it was just like glazed ice on top of the snow. And the trailer was just telling me, no, I want to keep going straight. And at one point, I was pretty much looking out the passenger side windshield, trying to keep the truck straight.
Is it called jackknifing?
Yeah. And, you know, in a million years now, I wouldn't do something like that. I would be driving, you know, I'm in no rush, right? 45 miles an hour, taking my time. But back then, I was probably doing like 65, 70 miles an hour on glare ice. So that probably isn't great for a semi-truck driver. But, I mean, now I know what to do in that situation.
Is it really like on roads like this, and you know, in those TV shows like Ice Road Truckers, and I know it's kind of like exaggerated.
It's very exaggerated. I mean,
is it like super different and difficult to drive such a big, you know, combo of a truck and loaded trailer on snow? Or
it's kind of funny because in some ways it's much easier than driving a car because the truck is so heavy. You have a lot more traction than you would imagine. But when you lose the traction, there's like no getting it back. With a car, you know, you can usually shift it in a second, you know, redline it, dump the clutch, and you can at least get going. In a truck, once the truck decides it doesn't want to go anymore, you know, you've got 2 axles trying to move 5 axles, and those 2 axles behind you weigh 34,000 pounds. You know, they're fighting each other, right?
Sounds scary.
But when you're actually driving, the truck is actually pretty stable depending on the road surface. If it's like soft, fresh snow, it's usually, if you're smart and you're not doing dumb things like I was doing when I was 21, then it's pretty stable, pretty safe. And oftentimes it's actually an issue that car drivers and motorists have with us is that, the truck drivers are driving so fast. Well, you know, we drive 200,000 kilometers a year and we drive on this all the time and we have the traction, right? And they start racing us because they think, well, if the truck can go that fast, I can go that fast. And I don't want to be behind the truck because it's going to spray all this snow at me. And then they end up spinning into the ditch, you know, and sometimes taking the truck with them. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's different. There's some understeering issues, there's some jackknifing issues and all that. But if you're smart, I would say it's probably even safer than driving a car. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Seeing you driving in the Winterland magical village to where you can get through magical portals in our Return to Winterland Christmas event this year, like. Is this something that we are also using as a kind of experiment to maybe, I don't know, test new like behavior of the trucks on snow? And this year we added even snowing, like active snowing into the village as well. And what do you think about this year's event, and if there is also something for future? Mark, you're slipping.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, well, the Winterland, this extra bit of universe that's like beyond the magical portal, was even last year, and it's still supposed to be like an experiment what we can do with the tech. Trouble is, of course, I'm well aware for years and years that the community would love to have seasons in the game. There are fantastic mods that introduce different times of the year. For me, I may have mentioned it before even in some of these streams, our internal kind of expectations of ourselves, of the quality of, let's say, transitions between seasons and all that, the continuity of the thing, asks for quite complex solution to the problem. Not just to throw in a texture mod that would like revamp the looks, but something that is able to do more. And we always thought, okay, let's do it after this and after this and after this. So yeah, we tried going sideways with the Winterland and try to have a little fun in the environment, but teaching our universe, teaching our games to really go after full seasons, that's a tough thing to ask. We'll nail it eventually, I believe so, but there's always so many things to pursue, so many projects to do, and seasons just didn't make it the cut as of now. So yeah, it's something that we love our players to enjoy. I would, if we had the bandwidth, the capacity, this is snow, but I would also love to do something for the springtime or summer harvest time or something, because I think ultimately we have this well connected, well developed, huge miniature of the world, bonsai tree version of the continent with American truck and Euro truck. But what if you jump through a portal or pick something from a menu or somewhere, and that universe, that world is expanded into a set of alternate experiences, little planets in the universe that offer something extra that doesn't necessarily have to be connected through economy or just through ferry or somewhere to the base game. So I would love to see us more experiment with this type of content, because otherwise the game is same old. We may do something funny, we may do something different scaled, something realistic in some way, more than the base game, or something more funny. So this is an attempt to dedicate some bandwidth to providing alternate.
So it is kind of a testing ground.
It is. I mean, it was so well received last year, and I think it's hard to tell because we don't collect the data. But I would think that even it showed in the sales a little bit, because last Christmas was a really good period of us business-wise. But Christmas is always better because people get new computers, more time, maybe some cash, and eventually Christmas, like across any sales category, games or not, eventually is the top season of the year. But last Christmas with this event felt like something clicked into place. So, maybe engaging people with something yet more exciting is a good idea. Now they got new vehicles to drive, they got new map DLCs to go into.
Explore,
But this was kind of for everybody, whether you just own the base game or not. And people did spend the time with the game. Therefore, if you spend the time with the game, Steam platform can tell probably that players spend the time with the game and recommends it even more to other people who don't yet the game, or don't have yet the game in their library. So somehow it seemed to work. So it was even an experiment not just on whatever technology looks. It was also an experiment on whether it makes a difference in the business. And I would think there's a good chance that this hypothesis is correct. So, I'm trying to see with the map team, can we do more of these crazy things that will kind of expand the universe?
I think even
and they tell me they would love it, and they tell me, but Pavel, do you want Scandinavia finished on time?
Yeah, that's
yes.
the thing, right? It's always
where do I hire more people? How do I grow the team? How do I, it's this, and again, opportunity cost of what you pursue, what may be even the passion versus the reality on the ground. I think we'll get there again. It's something that when it's nagging us, we eventually find a way. But it's something that we play with as a concept, and this is just the first example, hopefully, of more stuff coming up. And eventually all these little experiments, the lessons that we learn from them, the technologies we develop for them, it will come back to the base, to the core. It's just that sometimes you have to try things out, and these sandboxes, these little places, or this one in this case, that doesn't get that much collision with development of the base game because it's like a little isolated project. It's again another good thing for SCS to have to learn, to have these kind of companies within the company or teams within the team that have some independence and create driving academy or this map or whatever future experiences. Because we need more of agility than just like what the big studio actually is causing us to be, this huge organism that needs to be so well oiled that sometimes it's like also binding us, limiting us.
But I think
so I like it.
People internally would be also excited to work on these special challenges and maps and fantasy worlds or something like that, probably, right? So
who knows? So maybe in the brand picture, in the universe of our games, there will be more of this happening eventually, because we are doing well, across the continents. We go on continuing and then expanding. We may run out of steam, we may run out of content. We will always need to be reworking and improving, so long as we continue maintaining the games as a relevant thing for our players, for our community, and so long as we hope to get some money out of this to survive as a company, fine. But actually giving them extra bits of fun, whether for free or whether eventually even monetized again, we need to somehow sustain those hundreds of people. I think it may be fun. So I love it. I love the spirit. I love that the team really pushed.
I knew it's coming, Mark.
put their heart into this to overcome whatever is our typical standard.
Mark was trying to turn.
When you
ETS2
lose the
into
traction, you just lose it.
Colin.
I looked away
That's
for
it.
1 second. That's how quick it happens.
So
Yeah.
I think
Chad's having fun now.
this is an example, a trial balloon of something, and we'll need more of this.
Absolutely.
Hold on, I'm going to put it in off-road mode. Just,
Internal.
there we go.
Oh, okay.
Suspension.
All right. Also, talking about the Christmas magical village. What are your Christmas plans, guys? Hit me with it.
I have kind of a cool Christmas plan this year, so I'm actually taking 3 weeks vacation.
Oh, fancy.
I'm going back to Canada to drive truck.
Not that
Cool.
fancy.
as, I still very passionate, or
Yeah, it's it's something I've been kind of missing, and at first it wasn't really that bad, and then the few trips where I had the opportunity to drive trucks with the partners, it kind of the little spark ignited again. I'm like, I gotta go for a trip. So my old truck is still sitting back home. So yeah,
Just make sure you will come back, man. Not
I'll be
really,
back.
Send us an email like, sorry guys.
I've got a lot keeping me
sad.
here, so I ain't going anywhere.
Yeah,
but
okay.
yeah, just a little, just gonna go have some fun, do a trip, maybe hopefully down to like, we'll see what they have for freight, but maybe like a load
But
to
you had
Florida
a,
or
you
California.
had a kind of cool idea the other day. I think it was either today or tomorrow that maybe we could also, Chad, let us know if you would like to see something like that we could turn your trip of trucking into like SCS on the road episodes, like you would record yourself in the cabin, because I think for people it might be a nice bonus information to see how the industry actually works, how it works to get a load, to pick it up, to deliver it, what difficulties truck driver needs to
so
face.
before you know it, Mark is actually going to start his YouTuber career. Like, there are quite a few people who do this kind of almost for a living, to combine the truck
Like the
driver
Casey, for
experience.
example, right?
That was actually the first thing Namiro suggested to me when we met the first time before there was ever any thought of me coming to Prague, was that why don't you have a YouTube channel? And I was always like, it's not something I'm really interested in to do. And
Because
like,
you were
the market
like,
is so
any question I
oversaturated.
ask you at what was that, Truck World Canada or whatever, you knew the answer without looking into that Bible, or how you do call the book for truckers. So I was like, you could start a YouTube channel, like teaching people.
But the thing
you're
is,
developing your kind of persona here, so maybe
I like it here. I'll always be here. But it's true that like with as much experience I have in the industry, because even before I was driving, I was helping my dad with his company, right? So I even know the back end, sort of what goes on with the paperwork and all that, doing the log, like managing the logbooks as a safety and compliance coordinator and stuff. But it's true that that's knowledge, just being knowledgeable and having the information isn't what gets you views, isn't what makes you popular. As many popular YouTubers have proven, you just have to, break things or crash things or cut the roofs off things to be popular, right?
The everyday regular is not that fun to watch, right?
Exactly, yeah. But I think it would be cool to kind of give some insight to our community into what, we've talked about it on stream, but to be able to actually show them what, a week in the life of a truck driver actually looks like. I always see these TV shows where drivers go to get their load, and either they go to some fancy office and they have this face-to-face conversation with the dispatcher, or there's some kind of bidding system on the internet. And it's not like that. You just call your dispatcher and it's like, hey, what do you got for me? And they tell you where you're going.
You can't choose. You can't choose like in our game. Like,
No.
Now I would like to haul a yacht to Greece.
I wish.
No.
So yeah, being able to show them like kind of that side of trucking, how we go about taking care of the truck, maintaining it, securing loads and stuff like that. I mean, if it's something you guys would be interested in, it's something I'd be happy to spend a little time doing for sure.
So the next 3 weeks you're spending with a GoPro attached to your head or
to
something.
Pretty much.
to cabin, and maybe sometimes like record yourself with a phone. And
Yeah.
I mean, we can always give it a try and not use it, right? If it won't feel like it's good to compose the episode out of it, but you can try.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. Chet is also saying like, hell yeah, so why not? What about you, Pavel? Plans to Christmas?
Actually, I'm getting on a plane tomorrow
Oh.
for a flight that will ultimately take 20 hours.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Ouch. So 12 hours time difference.
Oh.
I'll be quite jet lagged.
Oh.
So that's the plan for the next 2 weeks for me and my family.
Going somewhere warm?
New Zealand.
Ooh.
Is it warm this part of
summer
the
there
year,
now.
or-
Top like
It's summer.
spring, summertime. Like
Yeah.
we are in the middle of the winter. The sun is the lowest now, so
Yeah.
it must be the highest over there.
Mhm.
Who knows? But I mean, in my case, I'm actually the type of person who prefer to just spend the time sitting comfortably in front of the computer and playing some game or doing something. But my wife and some of
You've
the
been
kids,
forced to.
they are kind of adventurous, so I will do the driving.
Have you been there
I'm-
already?
No, no way. It's
No?
like a bucket list thing for us. So
Oh.
yeah, we can finally do it this time.
You have to tell me
But-
later if it's that beautiful, like in those Lord of the
I
Rings movies.
hope
I was just
so
gonna ask,
because
if
this is
you-
such a diverse kind of place on the planet with mountains.
Do you
nature
plan
and all
also
that.
visit like Hobbiton and these kind of things?
Not really. There's
No?
so much natural stuff to chase after.
Mount Doom,
that
throw a
I-
ring there.
I don't need to go to the artificial places. So
Okay.
it's going to be mostly about the natural like landmarks and
Nice.
gifts that
Nice.
the islands offer. But it's going to be cool, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay.
And you, Namiro?
Nothing this year actually.
Staycation?
Staycation. It's kind of complicated. I usually try to escape Christmas as much as I can because I don't really celebrate Christmas. But this year, my girlfriend has a horse and a stable where that horse is living and like stabled. They are going to bring a new horse, a young one.
Oh.
So she's a little bit stressed out how they will, go together, if they will be like not biting and fighting each other. So she wants to stay home and go check it regularly. So this year is a staycation. So Christmas movies like Die Hard, your favorite one, Mark,
Typical Christmas movies, okay?
and I don't know, chilling, playing some games. Finally, I have a long list on Steam of games I purchased during some sale and never turn them on. So
You're going to complete your cruising Greece event?
absolutely.
Yeah.
In a
there
way,
you
I'm envious, Okay.
All right, as I can see on that clock there on the screen, time is flying. So I believe we slowly can get to the usual part of this type of a stream we do every year, and also probably the part for which most of the people tuning in are looking forward the most tonight, and that's talking about some of the future projects that are being cooked already or are starting their production and hopefully will be coming in the upcoming future to both of our games. So also we will try to do it in a new way, again picture in picture. Mark, you are supposed to keep on driving or at least give it a try, but of
Mhm.
course we would love to hear your feedback as well upon what we're gonna see.
Okay.
And Benny, if you are ready, you can bring on my desktop. Oh, it works actually.
It does.
Magic.
Magic.
So, chat, is it readable for you? I just wanted to
It should be.
I just wanted to grab it and move it, but I'm not able. Chat, it is readable for you. Okay, so as you can see, we have multiple folders again, like last year, in which there are some pictures. Sometimes it's a short video about some of our projects that are either already announced or in production but not announced yet, and something like that. Please keep in mind that everything that you're gonna see is still work in progress. Some of them are heavily work in progress, like really at the beginning of their production. And Benny, just to be super safe, put on work in progress mark, please, because we will probably keep the loop, keep the recording of this stream over the Christmas period somewhere running. So it is there already, but not visible. Okay, so hopefully it will be visible. So, chat, Pavel, Mark, which folder do you want me to start with? Just go from the top or from the bottom, or
Actually, I can't read this because it's hidden behind
Yeah.
the
chat.
chats.
Okay.
Chats like
I'm
discussions.
I've seen a lot of people talking about Scandinavia, Nordic Horizon, so maybe we can take a look at that one first.
Alright.
Okay, so
Okay.
maybe let's start with the folder related to Scandinavia.
Mhm.
And this folder is kind of by riddle, or how to say it, named as a shortcut of Scandinavia Reskin.
Mm.
And I believe we did not talk about it yet, but I think we are kind of ready to
Talk about it.
talk
Okay.
about it and say that one of our rework teams are working on a Scandinavia
So we have
reskin
multiple
project.
rework teams now focusing on different areas.
Yes.
How much of a progress from a few years ago when there was like one person
Doing
and then
rework.
when a new colleague came to help, we would actually steal the person in a few weeks to some running project. So yeah, we have multiple places where we can focus on now in parallel, and we felt that given the new Nordic Horizon content and its connection to the base world, we should do something about the current
Mhm.
Scandinavia DLC, which is in the middle of this all, which is one of the oldest, and which may, in comparison, I mean, there's so many areas that would look worse in comparison, but this time we felt it's a good idea to brush up what we have now. It's not a total rework. It's sometimes we call it a rework when it's
Mhm.
like from scratch. Sometimes we call it a reskin when it's mostly just surfaces being changed and vegetation and all that. This is like a hybrid. We are adding some places. We are adding major Denmark locations, right, that were missing from the original game.
Mhm.
So it's quite a project. It's not a total rework though. And we think people who already purchased Scandinavia some years back and now think, okay, now I own DLC called Scandinavia. How come you are selling me the next part if I already bought it? So this is an attempt to, be nice about asking for your money for extra bit that's beyond just Scandinavia itself. There's more to come with Nordic Horizon,
Mhm.
but we think it's a gesture. It's an attempt to have everybody happy with what they have already, with what they may get in the future. And I'm quite excited about it because really some of the decisions we made during the early DLC designs have been overcome since then. So we are trying to make up for it and then clean it all up. And I quite like the promise that it's bringing to have it like the northern part of our game will
Mhm.
feel fresher.
Someone in the chat already recognized those pictures that are from the city of Aarhus, if I'm saying it correctly. And that means that that's gonna be probably one of the cities that are not even in Scandinavia DLC as of now, right?
I think especially Denmark had a major part of the part of the continent that's not already beyond the water.
Mhm.
We're missing out from the previous DLC, so there is some loft invested there, and also some of the locations in Sweden, Norway are going to be revamped, rehashed. So
Like this is obviously Copenhagen, I
Mhm.
believe. And just today, our colleague Thomas from my team, he loves Denmark. He travels there to vacation almost every year, and he was like having on one monitor this screenshots and the other one the real look of the location, and it's like spot on. It's
Okay.
like really looking almost the same.
well, that's the ambition of the map team to
Yeah.
recreate those experiences one to one. And I mean, sometimes the management perspective is you guys are crazy because you spend so much time on these little details. So it's a balancing act as ever. So again, yeah, we have Nordic Horizons as a whole new project. We have Scandinavia
Reskin.
rework, improvements of the current DLC also underway to hopefully meet in time and space at the
Mhm.
same moment during the release of Nordic Horizons to really up the whole experience of going north from our core territories in the game. So we hope for this to be well accepted.
All right, Chad, what do you think? Are you looking forward to driving through Reskin Scandinavia? When we mentioned that we are actually running multiple rework/reskin teams internally now for, I would say, both of our games even, I believe the next folder can be related to another rework project, and that is the rework of the Benelux area, which is Belgium and Luxembourg
Netherlands.
and Netherlands. And the image doesn't work.
You just said your computer crashed. or
Okay.
something.
Oh.
So-
Hopefully not. So yeah, those those images are from this project, which is already going on as well. But like we said, it's still work in progress, and there still will be needed some time. But as we can see, this is kind of a like distillery or like beverage factory, like judging by this
Mhm.
kind of
Looks
landmark,
like a
maybe
huge something for
alchemy,
beer.
whatever. And there you can see like stocked beverages, probably. Cool stuff. Oh, as you can see, work in progress. Some
Placeholders.
landmark
Sometimes-
assets are missing.
Sometimes the images we get for these early previews are from the really tiny slivers of content that's close to completion, maybe even for the sake of having something to present. So people may get kind of the impression that it's almost done.
Yeah, but it's
far
not,
from
like-
it. So
Sometimes it really works like our marketing department is coming to the leaders of these projects and asking them like what next topic can we communicate to the people out there, and they say like, okay, let's do whatever, Missouri bridges, and then they give us like, let's say 10 locations, and they really go and really like, you know, polish those locations just for the
kind
screenshots
of
or
ahead
for
of,
the video,
ahead of their regular
ahead of the
planning, or-
regular production or, you know, work, just for us to be able to make beautiful images. So guys and girls, always keep in mind that until we are really comfortable to announce the release dates of our projects, everything is still work in progress, and those images might be not setting up the expectations the right way. All right, some narrow streets as well. Beautiful little town in the distance. Yeah, like someone said in the chat, it's ready when it's ready. This is beautiful as well.
I like it.
I kind of like how through the years our map designers teams found a way, or they have new technologies to do it. I don't know how to make these like far distance views so realistic.
Yeah,
you know?
it's given the constraints of our technology, and I admit, the first to admit that it is in many ways limiting. It's not like you can do an open world that's a whole continent without some limitation on something. There's a lot of procedural generation involved. It's not like they can easily mangle the triangles and keep them that way. So they have to work with the procedural generating elements of the technology, and yet we get nicer and nicer looking stuff out of the technology that was
Yes.
evolving for the past 2 decades or so. We have some improvements on the way for the tech, but still before they arrive, the guys are doing an incredible job. And again, it's great. The players, whenever the FPS is okay, the players appreciate it. Sometimes they may have a reason not to be so fine with the performance, but even that is hopefully changing and improving. But from the point of view of progressing across the universe, across the world, across the continent, at a reasonable pace, the more you raise the bar, the longer you take, the more people you need. So I hope we are not going to be, skyrocketing into something that's not sustainable. We are trying to keep it under control still, not to go overly crazy. But
Makes
again,
sense, yeah.
fantastic work, fantastic job.
Yeah, looking really good. Looking forward to it. All right, next, let's switch to America Truck Simulator. We have something from the upcoming DLC of Missouri, and I believe this is something that we also plan to turn into our regular blog or marketing communication in the upcoming weeks of the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, we kept our cards on this close to our chest, right? Until now we haven't talked about it much.
Absolutely. And these are, I don't know really how to say it. It's gonna be probably in some way a new gameplay feel like those? Because Missouri is quite famous for their underground warehouses.
Yes.
Mark,
yeah.
did you ever had a delivery to one of these? Or?
No, I've never actually been, but I've seen lots of videos of guys that have been. My dad's been a few times. It's pretty surreal, I think, to go in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like entering a whole like kind of new world in there.
I would love to see it. Like my mind cannot comprehend how big it can be or how big it is. Like if you need to like drive for a certain amount of minutes inside with the truck, or but maybe this like new content for the coming with the Missouri DLC will explore that.
I understand
for us.
that when we are sending those scouting parties to explore, to do the research on upcoming DLC in the pre-production stages, a few of our guys actually managed to somehow squeeze into one of these warehouses to
They
get
let you in. Like
the. I don't know if they asked, but they made it inside. I think they had some kind of like help.
okay.
It wasn't just like robbing the place or something, pirate code. But they made it inside, so they have actual references, actual real life. They went kind of there to bring the information directly from their own eyes. So
as you can see, it must be quite big in the real world. You know. If,
yeah,
like,
I understand it's huge.
In real life, it's
Moria.
not quite so tall, but I believe we had to make it a little taller than it is in real life because we have to account for the external camera.
Yeah, the camera and all
Oh,
that. So
true.
we made to gamify it a little bit by necessity, but I think it's inspired really by actually experiencing the place and thinking about it from a perspective of somebody who's been there and not just from some kind of random photos on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I think I've seen a video of this that may be
Yes.
coming up soon.
Yeah, that
Already
will
because-
be that will be put
Yeah.
with the blog. I
We
believe
have
it's
this-
next week.
We have this process of approving various materials coming out, and I'm fortunate enough to see advanced iterations of whatever comes out through our social media blogs and all that. So I like the video, so hopefully people like it too.
I bet they will. Looking good. Post office
Oh,
even
underground?
inside.
Crazy.
Okay.
So there's like a little bit of a city underground.
Pretty
Might
much,
be, yeah.
Because it's like, I'm not sure who owns it, if the government owns it or if it's some entity that owns it, but it's just renting space, right? So it's basically a giant cold warehouse and anyone can rent warehouse space there, right? So
Mhm.
it's,
So they are like warehouses to rent. Like anyone can rent it and run a company there, or
I mean, it's, I think, pretty considerable size spaces. It's not like you can open a little smudge stand in there or something, right? It's, you'd probably be, have to lease a few 100,000 square feet at least.
yeah. Like I want to run one hot dog stand.
Yeah. I mean, actually, that might actually be good. All the truckers waiting in there to get
Oh
loaded.
yeah, you would earn fortune there.
Okay, so I think we are coming with some cool
Yep, next
things
week.
we are unveiling here.
Next week we will learn more about this. All right, now let's take a look to some images from the other already announced and revealed DLC we are working on for American Truck Simulator, and that's Louisiana. We have a few pictures from Louisiana as well. I don't really have any more info related to them, so maybe we can just like admire them, and you guys
Speculate.
can speculate or let us know if you can recognize any landmark building. Looking good. Looking good.
Okay. And we got, I guess, a lot of water bodies again. Like
Yeah.
we're in the south now.
Yeah, the bayou, the swamp there is just kind of ever present, and especially
Louisiana
on,
is kind of famous for their swamps, right?
yeah, and these little bridges that kind of are just constantly, I wouldn't say little, big bridges that are constantly going over all the different swamps that you encounter.
I heard that they even use boats as a normal like people are using
Yeah.
cars here.
Yeah, like in the rural parts. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is something that we can maybe transcript. Mansfield. Okay. Mansfield football stadium.
I really love the way that as American Truck expands across the continent, the diversity of the environments is making the whole of it way better kind of
Mhm.
value, way more interesting. There were the northern barren places, and there was, the new California after rework looks like so fresh again with
Yes.
those interesting cities and all that. And now we have the South, which is very different. It's great. Coming back to how we made our games a decade plus ago, where everything was the same generic stuff, it's incredible to see that for me, and I hope that the players appreciate those like alternate, experiences or
Mm.
different
The
things to go through.
Diversity.
For me, like I remember playing like 18 Wheels of
Whoa,
Steel.
that's a tree.
18 Wheels of
Sorry.
Steel across America, and like, it was a lot of the map was sort of cut and paste with some kind of stuff added.
Literally, it was.
But there was stuff added to try and make you feel like you were in Texas or feel like you were in Montana or something, right? But now, like, having someone that's been to all 48 states and driven all these interstates, and now like when we do the company testing and I get a chance to drive in like say Arkansas for the first time when we did the company testing for that, and it's like I get off at an exit in game and I'm like, I've been here, and like okay, that hotel is right there and that fast food place is right there, and like it's all coming together, and it's like it's so cool to see that like in game.
I love this tree. It looks more like from some kind of like fantasy RPG game. Like it's gonna turn into a boss you need to fight. But it's beautiful.
Old gnarled oak, yeah.
I would expect that this is one of our results of us starting to use new technology for vegetation creation. So otherwise, I think somebody would have spent a month on this craziness.
Yeah.
But I think we are now using some like tools to be more productive and even more like precise about the natural world. So hopefully this is one example of this already happening, and over time I would hope and anticipate that as we rework locations, we also rework systems. Like we rework road markings, we rework light in the game. We also will need to rework kind of the layer of greenery and trees and grass and all that. It's kind of a never-ending process. So it will be popping up over time with improvements to the visuals of all things live in the world.
Sounds promising. All right. Okay, let's take a look into the Iowa folder, which is also one of the DLCs we already announced.
We did announce Iowa?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We try to collect those wishlist clicks, right?
Early on.
So we kind of have the process now, which is kind of standardized, that we try to be out in the public at least about a year before a DLC is out, because if you announce late, you just don't get the attention span enough. If you announce too early, you don't have much to show. You are struggling with too many offerings in a way to focus. So we have several kind of announced projects already, and just about the right, hopefully, amount of projects to announce, because there is, from pre-production perspective, of course there is even more happening behind the scenes that we are not talking about, but we are ready to talk of a few for sure.
Yeah, and for these images from Iowa, we will let you, Chet, again to speculate what they could mean.
I guess the team put them into this selection for a reason.
I think they said like it's about some of the new industries that might come with Iowa, and that they don't want to reveal much, so they even created the images. Otherwise, it's usually that they give us the coordinations and we create the images, but this time they wanted to have the image exactly like this.
Okay. So there may be some like hidden message, or not hidden message, but
maybe.
There is a goal, agenda that they are pursuing. Okay, cool. I like it. I don't know much here, but
me neither. Maybe you can let us know in our forum or wherever you want to what you think it might be. Okay. So this one we covered. Did we cover Nordic Horizon?
Mitha, you only did the rework, but not the
All right.
Horizon.
So we have also a few images from Nordic Horizon, and I believe this is also one of the topics that we're gonna soon communicate through our usual way. And these are from one city that's gonna be included in this DLC. And Chet, if you can recognize that, let us know what city you think this is. Anyone? This might be hard.
I got nothing.
I have no idea.
Me neither.
It's not Soda Italy, is it?
No. Yeah, but
Oh, that's in the old. Oh.
That would be the old content
But
because
it
that's Stockholm.
starts-
Stockholm.
it starts with S,
S. Okay.
and the second is K. It's Cal, something like that.
Okay.
To me, it sounded like one of the cities that was in Witcher 3.
Somebody's already speculating.
Yes,
Uh,
that's
okay.
the city, guys. in the
Singapore,
chat.
okay.
No,
Somebody say
Skellefteå.
Singapore.
Skellefteå.
I
That-
think you are probably very wrong in the pronunciation, but
Okay, yeah, sorry if I'm butchering that name.
my a couple of years back, my oldest kid, my son, studied in Denmark for a
Mhm.
year as a high school like kind of exchange program, how to put it. And we were visiting. It was actually during the COVID era, so it was difficult to visit. So we managed at least once between the different waves of craziness. And we tried to tell people where we are going. Like we couldn't. Like I tried mouthing it differently, but the pronunciation is so different from was written in text. We couldn't tell people where we are going, no matter what. And the police person at the border was asking, and I had to write it down. Like no way he would understand. Spelling it letter by letter wouldn't help either. So
All right.
You guys know how I feel with Czech.
Yeah, Czech is. I'm sorry for you, Mike, that you have to try to learn that language.
So I was always like just talking and not paying attention. So I don't know what we've seen from Horizons, but hopefully people took their impressions and
Yep.
was cool enough.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Let's move into the folder. We will leave the folder named vehicle for the end. Okay.
Okay, that's a big folder.
Yeah.
I know.
And here we have a folder of from one of our teams that are responsible for, I don't know how to say it, making our world more believable, more realistic, more spot on with details. And they are working for some time now on how the interiors of, for example, office buildings or like stores drivers are passing by.
Oh,
look
is that
like.
the parallax?
Is that the
Yeah.
parallax? Yeah. And here we have some images of their latest work or what they are preparing. Some of them might be already in the game. They said to me that some of those you guys gonna see are already included in the Return to Winterland event and in the Magic Village. So here we have like a GIF, or is it GIF?
Jif is a peanut butter, bro.
animated.
Animated image of changing the interiors. And then, yeah, I believe these are some of those that are probably within the magical village of Winterland.
Yeah, so it's a little cool bit of technology that actually somebody creates these environments in 3D, and then there's a smart shader that actually works with a 2D information only to kind of emulate, or how to put it, to make it believably looking like it's a 3D when you pass by. It's a little gimmick in a way, but it's for immersion.
Of course, when you
It's good.
stop there and you look there for more than like few seconds, then you can tell it's not 3D.
It's fake.
But if
when
it's
you,
in your
passing
peripheral,
by-
yeah, it's really good, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So it's an attempt to push forward on some things. People may question whether it is the best choice, but actually, this is a passion of a team here that they want to make our world like more believable. So we were like facing the question whether that passion should turn into a real project, and it's been cooking for over a year, well over a year, before the guys felt comfortable with the technology to create the graphics for it. But now that it's coming to the games, and it's going to pop up at different places, new content, sometimes reward content, I think it will kind of elevate the experience versus just some static window displays that we had until recently.
Yeah, I absolutely do love them. And I heard that they are also experimenting now with some kind of like next step or upgrade, that some of them might be, I don't know, maybe from time to time have like a little lamp turn on and off, to even
We'll
create
see.
more
Yeah.
like immersion or
The good thing about it is this is like a reasonably cheap shader effect. It's not like total huge amount of geometry or rendering like demand. So sometimes it's not like it's our invention totally, but sometimes taking inspirations from other projects is a good idea. And again, this is a part of our overall ambition to improve. And the team is very proud of what they created. So kudos to them and we are happy to show it here. What's happening there?
Yep. All right, now the time most of you are probably looking forward to the most. Which game should we start? American Truck Simulator or Euro Truck Simulator?
I think we start with American.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course.
We got a little
So,
thing there in
If you're
ETS2 that we
asking
should
a
save to
Canadian,
get.
this is closer, I guess, to his
As
heart.
you can see, there is kind of quite a lot folders, and I can tell that those are not all projects that are happening. Some of the projects we are not really ready to show anything from them. But from those we are ready to show some. Let's start with, for example, these.
Now, chat, do you know what that is?
Chat, any idea?
Oh, Joe Alex got it.
Yep, that's E-Cascadia, and I believe that's gonna be probably the very first
I believe so, yeah.
electric truck
Yeah.
for American Truck Simulator.
Mhm.
That's also something new we did this year, right? With the whole electrification and bringing the first fuel electric truck into the game.
Yeah, we've got 3 of them now in game, right? Or is it just 2?
It's definitely Renault and Scania, and
Is Duff already in or not? Are we revealing something we should never reveal again?
no, it's within one of the folders. So you
Okay,
just
okay.
you leaked something that we're gonna show anyway. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got the electric truck, and that's something we saw back in February as well, right? On our first business trip this year.
Yes.
We were there taking the photos, reference photos for that, and the sound recording.
Yeah, bringing the electric trucks into the game is, in a way, slightly controversial because this thing it's out there in reality. It's still early stages. I mean, the infrastructure for it is still developing as we speak, and for us, it's very hard to, somehow revamp the whole world with something that's partially there in places, partially would have to invent it ourselves, the whole infrastructure for recharging. So we introduced it in some way limited fashion by not having total control and ownership of a vehicle to drive anywhere. We just try to do a little teaser of giving people a choice to take them for a short job. And I understand that people want more, people want customization, people want the experience of owning it. We'll have to gamify it somehow into the game to, bend the reality a little bit for this to happen, to have the opportunity to recharge at enough spots. That's in the making or in the concept stages to do that. But at the same time, the manufacturers, some of them made very big bets on electricity, and they, when we talk to them, they want to see what's coming from their production lines, what's cool, what's interesting, how unique it is in some ways, how standard it actually may feel in other ways, and in a good way. So we have to find a way, and finally we are finding it.
It's gonna be part of the transportation for sure in the future. So yeah, Mark, I can see you.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on this one.
It's not a classic, right? But,
All right,
it's
let's move.
it's going to be a part of the mix. So
Yeah,
we
definitely,
should,
yeah.
Absolutely.
cover it when it's finally a part of real world out there.
All right, let's move to more, let's say, classic trucks.
Ooh, okay. Hey, look at that.
Yeah, look at that beauty.
All right.
So that is Kenworth W990, as Chet says. And you're right. Is this some kind of truck you always liked?
I
or
owned
is
one.
it- You really owned one?
Yeah, I had a
Okay.
2021 that I had on flatbed and food grade tank. It was one of the limited edition ones, which had the black interior with the blue stitching. And the exterior was actually black with a blue metal flake in it as well, so it all really matched really nicely together. Really nice truck to drive. I had a 510 PACCAR, 18 speed, all that fun stuff. It was the big sleeper like this, the big 76-inch sleeper. So yeah, I'm quite a fan of this truck.
Cool. Something, again, a little emotional for you then.
Yeah.
To experience it in the game. I understood from the renders, it's still very much work in progress.
Yeah,
right?
those are images from 3D modeling software. As you can see, the wheels, for example, are turned off to make those images. So Chet, you can stop doing your jokes about who stole the wheels. I can see you. But beautiful looking truck. I like especially the, what's it, like air intakes covers or?
Yeah, the air intakes. It's when it first came out, I found it quite jarring because you spend so many. I mean, my entire childhood and adult life, we had the W900. The styling never really changed in my lifetime. So for me, seeing this, it was kind of a jarring thing to see, and I wasn't so sure about it. But the more you see it, the more you look at it. It's a nice truck, and it's you get these. The new modern cab with more space between the seats, more usable features in the sleeper. But you still get that classic look. And honestly, I would even say, like, over the years, the look of this truck has even grown on me more so than I just missed my turn. More so than the W900. It's just got such like a rugged kind of like just rough and tough look, I love that truck, yeah.
Awesome. Moving to another one. And this one is going to be about Peterbilt 579.
579. We already have that in the game. Whoa.
Cool.
It's the brand new one.
Yeah, that's the new one. And we've seen one of these, right? When we were visiting Peterbilt in, what was it, Austin, Texas?
Denton, Texas.
Denton, Texas.
So now you're pretending to be surprised when in fact you took the reference photos of it a few months back, okay?
I think we already did also like SCS on the road walk around episode, right?
Oh.
Or no, not? No, that was about the 389.
Yeah, 589.
589,
We did,
yeah,
the brand new long nose.
I'm so glad that the actual Mark's view is all obscured by this thing, because you made such a major traffic offense
violations
by backing back from an exit.
The chat didn't see that, so it never happened.
Yeah. Okay. All they see is this little snowman all the time.
Yeah, just hey snowman.
It's perfect snow Christmas vibe. We have also like a small video of the truck rotating in 3D modeling software. Looking good. That yellow fits it.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, this one is coming along nicely. Still, it's not in-game or anything like that. Still just the 3D model, but I've been keeping an eye, working with the guy who's making it, and he's doing really good work, and yeah.
Awesome. And Chet says that's also the Ultraloft sleeper.
Yeah. The biggest sleeper Peterbilt offers.
Oh. Another folder with Peterbilt.
Oh?
This one is about, I believe, the rework of 389.
Yep.
This is a massive project where
This
we
is
overhauled
massive
the old,
project,
like much like we did last year or 2 years ago.
And Chet goes
for
crazy.
the W900. Yeah.
Chet goes crazy.
And we've actually, if you can see, chat, we've even added a new sleeper as well. So,
is it this one, right?
no, that's the
No?
72-inch, the old one. Or sorry, they're calling it the 78-inch now. I believe the second from the right is the 72-inch, formerly called the 60 or 63-inch sleeper. That is going to be a new sleeper for us for the truck. So,
is it the one called like 389X?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see like so much excitement about these classics. I mean, they are new classics, but they are still kind of old school in a way.
Yeah, they're still manufactured, right? Like
No, so 389 was manufactured. The first model year was 2008. They started
now
making
there
them.
is there is like the 589, right?
Exactly,
Which is
yeah.
like it's
Yeah. So 2020, I think there's a handful of 2025
Mhm.
389s, but they were all manufactured in 2024. The manufacturing for them ceased in 2024.
Yeah, so I believe this project is similar to what we did with Kenworth W900.
Like bringing
2
it
years
up to
back,
current
like-
standards.
Yeah, reworking it
and,
like
you know, more options
in a major way.
and
Yeah.
I love it.
Me too, me too. Okay, moving to another one. Here we have the all new VNL.
Hey.
Hey. Chad is still going crazy as well.
Such a stylish design for
Yeah.
the front grille and all that.
Yeah, this is really, the first, kind of aerodynamic trucks really broke the industry back in the, 70s and 80s when they came out. And, there was lots of kind of slurs truckers had for them because they didn't like them. And it's like crazy to think that we've gone from that where a trucker had to have a square nose truck to this. Like, this is like really groundbreaking for, I think, American trucking industry. This is a total deviation from what we've seen from aero trucks in the past, Really, really good job.
Chad, are you playing bingo cards tonight? Like someone said, like Volvo VNL has been marked on my bingo card. Are you trying to play bingo? What?
Oh my.
And this is also the truck we recently were able to see with our own eyes on the last business trip, right?
Yeah. I got to drive one and it didn't break.
You have been like everywhere with everybody, and like this is the fruits hopefully coming within a reasonable time frame. But I'm no commitments to dates, right? Like the people can see that work is really being done on this. It's not like we are just talking about it. When we show it, we mean it. But at the same time, the final steps, the process of getting approved individual elements of it, it's the more we get involved with our industrial partners, the more kind of like specific, like precision level of precision we need to have in matching their like marketing materials or matching their production lines. We can no longer invent things up. Like we have to really be careful. So towards the end of the project, sometimes you take months and months coming back and forth, tweaking and improving, and then they come up with a yearly revision and you add a few more parts on top of what you already thought it was done. But hopefully we'll get it into the game soon.
Yeah, and chat's commenting as well, like this is going to be another truck where we're getting 4 cabins. So typically up until now, we've usually only ever offered 3 cabins. A handful of times we offered a 4th cabin for some trucks.
Okay.
And this is something it's something I've been kind of trying to very slightly push the vehicle team towards, is offering that extra 1 or 2 cabins, because like for example with the Peterbilt, I think there's 7 or 8 different cabins you can get with that truck.
In real world?
In real world, yeah.
Okay.
So for us to only offer 2 sleeper cabins in a day cab, it seems like a little bit of a pity to misrepresenting all those trucks.
Then you also have to have pity with the team doing the paint
Exactly,
jobs, which
exactly.
is like there's a huge matrix of cabin sizes versus the designs, alternate looks of the paint jobs. It's a square of these two like lines or two ranges, and ultimately it's hundreds of variations of those motifs, of those images that have to sit on people's hard drive just so if they pick this cabin or that cabin or that paint job. So it's a huge problem. In a way, it's a nice idea in principle. Back in the day when we introduced paint jobs, we thought, you know what, we'll do our best to use the same textures somehow, kind of adjust it just by UVs to a shape of the vehicle. Of course, it turned out to be impossible. You have to have a custom kind of wrap, a custom adjustments to it. So that's quite a lot of work for the little nice effect of having alternate liveries. But the more cabins, the more hell for the
that's why we're not offering the full 7. We're
we need a nice selection for our players to experience the vehicles.
Yeah.
We cannot have the ambition to work to present everything in a manufacturer's catalog. I remember back in the day talking to Packard. They have this a huge network of partners that provide parts, and it's a part of the Packard catalog or something. And they say, we have like 900,000 parts or something. Not all of that is visual. It may be a little rubber something for under the hood.
Right.
But how could we ever hope to cover the variety? It's like we have to be very selective in a way.
Absolutely.
But anyway, I think we are doing a nice job, right, with the selection.
All right, moving to another one that's also related to Volvo, but this time to their full electric one. This is, if I'm correct, the Volvo VNR Electric. Mark, can you confirm?
That is, in fact, a VNR electric, yes.
Okay.
Like a meta comment. I mean, you are on track number, I don't know, 6, 7, 8. And you're still in ATS, right?
Yes. And I believe that folder will blow your minds, Chet.
Okay.
Yeah, this is another one we saw on one of our business trips this year.
True.
And got lots of reference photos for. Another electric offering, 4x2, and I believe 6x2 we're going to offer.
Okay. And then the last folder in the ATS folder is about some trailers.
Okay.
Anyone can spot the brand?
Looking at the cargo or the trailer itself?
I believe it's both the same. They produce also these machines, so I believe we are also making them as a cargo.
Okay.
Yeah, that particular screenshot was just of the cargo. This one is the trailer.
To be honest, I don't know much about Bellinga trailers. Maybe Mark, you know more from your experiences.
I believe they're Canadian from around the Guelph area, I want to say.
Actually?
They handle more kind of feed trailers and stuff like that. So they're not something I ever really interacted with much personally.
You were doing mostly like low beds and
flatbed, tanker, reefer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
But still, it's good to see that the American Truck Simulator is about to get also some trailer brands.
The game, I guess, needs a bit more
Needs to catch up,
variety
on
and
that.
choices for the players. In Europe, you did such a fantastic job, like bringing those partnerships and having a wide selection. Because to me, a little surprisingly, I understand if you are a football fan or something, you have this loyalty to the team or the player or that. I was aware of this happening in the world of the trucks, of the semi-trucks, of the tractors. There is these passions going for generations for that or this manufacturer. I wasn't even aware that this is also happening in some cases with the trailer manufacturers, that there is loyalty and there is a rivalry between the companies.
A big rivalry.
So it's good that we will have more choices for the customers, for the players.
Yes.
Yeah, like my dad, he's been buying the same brand of trailers since like 1997, and over the years he's probably bought like 30 or 40 of them. Like, yeah.
All right, moving to the folder of ETS2, and let's start right ahead with what Pavel already leaked.
Okay.
Which is the electric version of DAF, the new generation DAF XF, I believe.
Okay.
Yep, as you can see, you will always tell it's the full electric one by those blue pieces on the truck, especially in the headlights. So that is gonna be also one of the next fully electric trucks that are to come to Euro Truck Simulator 2.
In recent years, just from memory, DAF has been getting a lot of love from us because we introduced, the new XF and XG eventually, XG Plus. We have the smaller, kind
XD.
of more regional XD. Yeah. So a lot of things happening there, and it's I would say, fantastic cooperation with a company that gets it, that wants to see their vehicles in our game actively, even like kind of pursuing the opportunities in the partnership, not just passively, getting approached by us. So I quite like it. At the same time, it's the example of some kind of demanding partnership that we have, that some introductions of vehicles have to be on time. When there's the process, the iterations towards the end are always demanding, nailing down every little detail. So it's great, and at the same time, it's a little bit of a hell for the development team to actually wrap this up in quality on time. Usually, a CS approach is more relaxed. We are done when we are done. With vehicles, oftentimes it is when the partner needs it, when the partner is releasing something or has a good time to communicate something. Like just yesterday, our recent announcements. Was it yesterday? Time
The
flies.
day before.
With the day before.
Tuesday.
The new Volvos.
Yeah.
That was locked into place quite a long time ago. I mean, the fantastic
And our teams
YouTube
had
video.
to do like quite a sacrifice to
the
make it happen.
Volvo had this video prepared ahead of time
Yes.
on their to unleash on their channel, and we just had to make it no matter what. So a lot of people were working super hard here on our side to iterate and to hotfix these days.
Yeah.
So it's not an easy time for everybody at SCS ever. It's a matter of passion and hard work, and I hope that you guys appreciated that we go through all this to make you ultimately happy.
I bet they are. Mark, I can see one of your cargoes got lost.
Yeah,
Benny, if you can
yeah.
put down the picture for a few seconds.
So we were trying to get this on Monday with Gavin during the Winterland stream. We finally got it. So we have a lost cargo, and Winterland needs your help. A gift pack consignment was lost in yesterday's snowstorm. The last known location is marked with a little blue present icon on your map. Drive to it with your trailer and follow the route advisor instructions to collect it. So I'm going to do that now, and maybe you guys can keep talking. And when I get there, we can.
Okay. Let's
see what it looks
focus
like,
a little bit on the event
okay.
and make a little, not so
So
planned.
you have to do it in time. There is actually like you are in a rush now to.
I don't think so. I think it's. Oh, there it is.
Oh, okay. Go pick it up then.
I think it's it's not timed or anything. It's like not like if you don't get there in time, you lose. But yes, you got to go get that little gift pack that I guess fell off the back of the trailer, as they say.
Yeah. I mean, that's because you were like driving like it's a rally.
That was somebody else. I just picked this trailer up. Okay.
I think you were lucky to roll the dice to get this. I mean, it's not automatic.
It's random.
It's
right?
random, right?
Yeah, but there should be some. I'm not sure how they did it, but it should happen like within your first 3 or 4 jobs. It should be almost guaranteed that you
Yeah,
get
there
it.
is an attempt to kind of direct it in a way that the people will find it's semi-random, a random feeling, but we have to have some control over it as authors. I think the feature, it's a part of the lore of the event, kind of getting richer from last year, getting more varied. I think the motivation to develop this feature was to have people explore this little bit of fantasy world more than when people were just going direct to pick the cargo or deliver it and at those few selected locations, because now you have a reason to go to some other places that you wouldn't just go to, you just pass on your way. So I guess the map designers felt that the product that they worked on, the result of their work, the map has more reasons for the players to spend the time there.
You can also see the parallax interiors we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Recently. Yeah.
And yeah, like when you're like passing by like this, they look perfect, like really good.
So it's a test lab for these effects too, in a way, this little world. Cool. And I think we changed the approach to daytime and in the previous iteration and last year, everything was either total darkness kind of, like or late evening kind of.
Now it looks
dusk.
so fresh. And
now
like
you can see this in daylight, you can see it at night, and it kind of makes sense for you as a driver on a job to see it not just during the night, not just during the magic hour of late evening. The magic hour of late evening would be kind of matching Coca-Cola ads last year in a way. Now we are no longer trying to make that impression with every little drive you make through here. And last year also our team was quite worried if daylight is appropriate to show their creation, but they improved things a little bit here and there. They also got a little bit more relaxed about how it looks at broad daylight. So here we are with driving in like high noon or something. Not high noon, but driving in the middle of the day.
When I first played the Winterland event, I wasn't really sure what these little huts were everywhere. So I think maybe people in North America who play our game might not be so aware about the kind of Christmas markets that exist all over pretty much every
True,
European
that's
city.
true, yeah.
So
You
a lot-
recently visited one of these, right? In real world.
Yeah, my mom was here to visit, so we went up to Dresden with my girlfriend and her mom as well, and we spent a day there at the market in Dresden, I think, which is the oldest Christmas market in the world that we
Okay.
know of. So yeah, they put up all the cities. Prague has a ton of them. I think there's probably a couple dozen locations with these little
I
wooden
would say
huts.
every bigger city has
Yeah.
some kind of form of their Christmas markets.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's, people selling little Christmas ornaments, little gifts,
A lot of
Mulled
candy
wine.
and like
mulled
Trdelník.
wine, cider, some treats, Trdelník, the typical Czech
which is not
dessert.
Which
Yeah.
is not Czech, it's not typical, but it's just like tourist trap thing. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, so now that I've walked around the city across 2 Christmas times now. Now I see them; they look so familiar to me. But I remember the first time seeing them, before I had been to any of the Christmas markets in Prague. Even I was kind of like, "Well, what's this all about?" Now, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah.
So what happens when you go there? Like you pick the cargo and then it tells you where to deliver it, or
I
where it is
believe it's
missing,
just
or-
completing the load you have now. So we'll find out here.
Oh,
I'm
I
pulling up shortly,
see.
so it's just like a piece of the cargo got missing from the
So
previous
it's like
driver.
one of your currently taken
Mm-hmm.
or recently taken cargo got missing, and you need to like pick it up to be able to deliver 100% of the
Exactly.
job.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure what happens if you just go straight to the delivery, or if you're even able to.
You end up in jail because people will think that you
Mm.
stole that part of the cargo.
True.
So
Yeah. So we can see our little gift icon floating over here, in front of this fun Easter egg house.
I mean, in front of this house doesn't really feels like stolen. More like someone was maybe ordering some of your like load.
Oh, maybe it's
straight
a
to, like home
return.
delivery.
Ooh, look at the animation there.
Isn't this also the reference to one of the Christmas movies?
It
This-
is.
It is,
It
right?
is, yeah.
So again, this feature was actually used to bring people's attention to the little details put into the world at quite not trivial effort, only for people not to be aware of them. Okay, nice trick.
Yeah, because like this road is kind of like a little bit off the beaten path here. So like if all you ever did was drive on the main road there, you never would have seen this
so
house
it's now
here,
it's
right?
also like taking you to see more of the.
Mhm. Yeah, we have a little kind of like American-inspired
okay.
suburb here, I think. Yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's get
All
back
right,
to
thank
the
you.
roads.
Benny, hit us back with the picture-in-picture. Chat. What do you see? How do you like it? Do you know what's is this going to be about? Oh yeah, here we go. Chat found out. Yes, this is a project about the Mercedes-Benz truck. Yep.
Haven't we actually hinted at something happening last year already?
I think we did.
Only to have to eat our words because nothing was released yet.
No, because this time we gonna upgrade it with also this shot.
Oh.
Yeah. So there is not only one Mercedes-Benz truck that is in production, but also this latest and the greatest, I would say.
And this truck, this is all brand new, or is it utilizing the same cabin as the previous generation? I believe it's all new, right?
I mean, I should be asking you that question. I don't know.
You are the expert, but you are Northern American expert,
The
right?
European ones, I'm still learning. I'm doing my best. I spent some time at Elmia and IAA learning about them, but for some of them, it's still, to my eye, they.
People say it's the same.
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm not really sure if that's correct. But this design is really something like new and unique. Like, and everyone is everyone in the industry is talking about it, how futuristic it looks. And when you see one of them in real life, especially in white, it looks awesome. It looks like nothing we've seen on the roads for
spaceship.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really kind of taking like what you expect from a truck, like with the typical big, grill and everything.
Yeah.
It's really kind of turning it on its head. Yeah.
They call them aliens or stormtroopers, I believe.
Or stormtrooper.
Okay.
Yep. So
Okay,
that's
okay.
Mercedes.
There was some
trucks.
excitement generated in the chat.
Yep. And now let's take a look here, which is gonna be a new cargo pack, I believe, branded one, if my computer will cooperate with me. Yep.
All right.
Which is a sister brand, I would say it, to Krone trailers.
So green
They're,
Krone and blue
as they say,
Krone?
green Krone, yeah,
Mm.
which is a brand focused for many, many years to producing agriculture vehicles and technology.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They actually did the agriculture machinery first, right? And
I
then they got into trailers later.
I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe someone in the chat can correct us.
Chat.
Chat is just
They said yes. So maybe
expressing
it's yes,
their
Oh, okay.
excitement.
Thank you, Tanzer.
All right. So a new cargo pack is also in the production. Cool.
So again,
Good.
because this is a highly recognized brand,
Yes.
we think some people will find it of value to pull these machines around our little depiction of Europe.
Yep. All right. Then we have this folder here, which is, if I'm correct, the project of a rework of a MAN Euro 6
Okay.
truck. I don't
Okay,
know
we were
what's the
a little
difference
bit
between those two images.
late with those updates or facelifts of
Mhm.
MAN as they go through the years. I think we tried hard to catch up, and now maybe this means that we are there to catch up.
Looks like Chet is like super excited about the rework of this MAN truck. I don't know what's the difference between those two images. Maybe it just got copied there. Okay. Moving to another folder. There's only one picture. And let me know if you can tell what is that one about.
Can you enlarge it a little bit?
Benny, can you take the chat off for a second?
I think you recently seen one of these, Mark, in Sweden.
Oh. Is this what I think it is?
Probably.
No, I think
No.
I think you think that's a little bit different one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, is this Scania Super and the new dash and
Oh, the full digital dash. Yeah.
and also the Scania Super, which is 770 horsepower, I
Mhm.
believe, engine. Yeah.
Oh, no, the Super is the 13-liter engine. It's their
Oh, okay.
fuel-efficient line. But also, this should be coming with the new 770 as well, yeah.
Beautiful. Benny, can you bring the chat back? Oh yeah,
Okay.
Chat got it right.
Okay.
All right, and now I believe it will get exciting a little bit more because
Even
we
more?
have
Oh, no.
yeah
Chat,
we have
take it easy.
this folder.
Chat, it's okay.
Chat, take a deep breath, Chat. Okay, take a deep breath, Chat. Yeah, Chat is gone.
Look at that.
So yes, I believe we can say that we are working on this, and we know that we kind of, I mean, that you guys are waiting for this for some time,
Like a decade.
like a decade
or more. I mean, we have been hinting at this project. We thought it would be happening on a different trajectory than actually we eventually ended up taking. But right now, the vehicle team, the bandwidth there is available for us to pursue new vehicles.
It's been
to
84
come
years.
back. I've been there 3,000 years ago.
I was there.
So yeah, it's something that's happening. We need to do the 3D work. We need to do the game design changes to be yet more about the cargo and not about the trailer in our economy.
Mhm.
So again, this is one of many projects that we are
still in
like
work in progress.
so many balls in the air that we
Yeah.
juggle to have that fall in place. But it's in a way us showing it here, it's a commitment that this is happening. Sooner or later, this is happening.
Mhm.
We'll be introducing vehicles, like we cannot do it across all the range of all the
Mhm.
vehicles that do have the configuration. We'll have to be like spread across multiple updates of the game eventually anyway, but we are coming with whatever people see here is also for us it was a reminder when the research was done on Nordic Horizons that so many of the vehicles there are not like a standard articulated truck that we have been portraying in the game until now.
Yeah.
That this is a priority in a way. Whether we make it or not on time, it's a question. We would love to.
Whether we will
But
make
it's
it
a-
before GTA 6, as someone is asking, we don't know.
So here it is. Finally, some good news on. I know it's been on the wish list for people for
Yeah.
ages.
But I can say that this one here that you're seeing is just a prototype. There's still some things that need to be, even on this early prototype, like the box isn't really attached to the frame in any way. This is more just to prove that, okay, we can do it. We have the technology to some extent. There's still many things that have to be done on the back end to make it all functional. But yeah, we're going in the right direction with it for sure. It's finally in production, I guess we can say, right?
Awesome. All right, and then I believe we have one last folder, which is kind of a surprise for you guys. So I will let it speak for itself, and let's see if Chad's gonna get excited about it as well. It's a short video, as you can see. Yes, it's the new Iveco S-Way we recently released. Looks like the team has been working on some tuning and customization options for this truck, but that's not all. And here we go. Yeah, I believe this is the major thing that the vehicle team has been working on, bringing the colorable, or is that correct in English? Parts such as
painted.
Paintable.
Yeah.
bars and customization options, which we know that you guys and girls been asking for some time as well, and we know you love to kind of tune up your trucks and all fitting and being nicely matched in colors. So hopefully when this project will be done and released, that you will be able to customize your trucks even more and better.
Cool.
All right. And that's it.
Okay.
That's
There's
it.
a lot of announcements in a way, or reveals, or hints, or hopes, and I know we haven't shown some things that may actually happen to be released even earlier. That some of these projects may slip, may be derailed in a way until later, compared to what our current plans are. It's all like a living organism of multiple projects, in some ways influencing each other by sharing some stuff on them, or in many ways depending on factors beyond our control with partners. Or sometimes you have a vehicle built here and it's missing, I don't know, a little bit of a detail that we waited for the CAD file to arrive
like
for
a
3
door
months.
handle or something like that.
And we want to make it just right, not to guess. So we don't sign off on this until we have all the references. We started on major production there, only to be delayed and have to focus on something else for a time. So don't get too upset with us if some of these things take a little longer than we may all hope now. And you don't even know what we hope for, but we do know. We do hope.
Yeah.
But it's something that is in the plan. It's something that we do truly work on. And let's all cross our fingers that we'll be able to introduce it to the game soon.
Yeah. I would recommend you guys and girls to closely watch our communication channels and social media profiles, because by that or through that you will be able to manage your expectations with us, as we will be able to talk more about these projects we teased or hint today in the stream. And I believe like everything we wanted to say has been said. The stream went nicely. 2 hours passed like nothing.
Yeah,
And,
it was great chatting you with guys. You have been
absolutely.
saving me, because I always feel like I should be like a little bit official and corporate, but at the same time I wish, and I hope that we achieve that the atmosphere here should be quite relaxed and kind of chilling, and this is like a couple of guys not really sitting on a couch, but almost here in the studio, just having fun playing a game and chatting about what may come next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. As I can see already in the chat, a lot of people are wishing us and each other Merry Christmas. The same goes from everyone in STS Software towards you, our beloved community and fans and players. Please do have great Christmas and relaxed and chill holidays, no matter what you plan to do over the upcoming weeks. We too might be a little bit tuning down on the pace of communication and bringing out new topics and new blogs within the next 2 weeks, but we still do have something up
And I've
in
seen
our
the
sleeves,
lineup.
and
You actually have quite a few things
quite a
scheduled,
lot,
right?
yeah,
So
quite a lot.
it's not like we go silent. Some years
Yeah.
we do go silent. I think you upped the expectations so much that you're not ready to let the
Yeah.
players without any surprises.
Yeah, we hope you liked today's stream. Make sure to check out everything we recently released for both our games. Oh yeah, Benny, you're right. God damn it. Benny just saved you, chat, because we still have some gifts to give away.
That's
I
right.
almost forgot about it. So anyone who's gonna win something, send something to Benny as well, because he just saved you. As you can see, it wouldn't be a Christmas without some gifts, so we brought something here. We set it up nicely on the table to not to have to show every piece of that, but there is, as you can see, there are a few copies of our Making of Texas art book. There are a few T-shirts that we create for the past few DLCs, more like internally for the teams to celebrate the releases of their projects. And now a few of you gonna be having a chance to get one of these as well. There are some special cards with special pins we created, with special also like SCS software pin with a Christmas hat. I really love that one. And a few caps that we just used for the release we did on Tuesday for the latest Volvo FH Series 5 and FH Series 6 trucks. So we will be hosting really quickly a short giveaway for 5 winners, and each of the winners will get a nice package of these items we just showed, or these goodies and things. So anyone watching us on YouTube or anywhere else we are streaming today, now is your chance to move to Twitch, because on YouTube or other platforms we don't really have a way how to communicate with you if you would be picked in a random giveaway. So make sure to move to Twitch, to twitch.tv/SCS Software, and type a keyword into the chat, which is Christmas, I believe. Is that correct keyword?
I think that's a suitable choice.
Yep.
As I can see, chat has turned it into the elevator, as we say it here in the chat, in those streams. And Benny, can you set up? Oh, you already did, Benny. You're on a killing spree. Benny already set up a countdown for 1 minute to participate in the giveaway. All you need to do, just write Christmas into the chat once. It doesn't matter if it's all capitals or all lowercase. And you need to write it only once. You don't need to spam it. And then we will quickly pick 5 winners. Make sure that your Twitch whispers are turned on, so we can reach to you if you would be picked. And we will need you to let us know your shipping details for us to be able to send you a package of those Christmas gifts. 10 seconds. Countdown for the giveaway. Make sure to write the keyword Christmas. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's it. And now... Oh. Now it doesn't work.
These things happen.
Now the Nightbot for me doesn't work. Benny, did you set it up also? Nope. These things happen. My computer is fully frozen.
Really?
Yeah, maybe it's because of the stream, because of the picture-in-picture.
You think there was too many keywords?
No, I think like the whole computer is frozen.
Time for an upgrade.
Maybe Santa Claus will bring me a new one.
So chat, maybe while we're figuring this out, you guys can tell us, of all the things that Pavel and Namiro shared with us today, what is it you are most looking forward to?
Rigids.
Rigids.
Christmas.
Rigids,
they're
tandem,
still
rigids,
spamming.
rigids, tandem.
Okay, Christmas is a good choice still. No, it's flying so fast, but I think I've seen an example of everything that we've
All right.
covered.
I'm afraid we will have to do it again, Benny. Can you set up once again chat?
So we're
Type
not done.
Christmas again in the chat.
Ouch.
Now it should work. Hopefully. Oh yeah, I can see the entries counting up. 33 entries, 35, 45. Okay, yeah. Chat. Sorry. Okay, Benny is ahead of me. Benny is ahead in time. Sorry, chat, for that little technical issue. Now it should work. So please do type the keyword Christmas into the chat if you want to participate in the giveaway. And in 30 seconds, or in about 30 seconds, we will choose those 5 lucky winners. And meanwhile, Mark, Pavel, you can tell me what of those projects we teased are the most favorite ones or popular ones, or the ones you're looking forward to the most.
Pavel, you go first.
In a way, I'm really looking to driving north. In Scandinavia, even though it's a little bit of older content of ours, it's still one of the most popular destinations. I mean, the nature there, also the players up north are somehow like very dedicated to trucking games. Of course, the homes of Scania and Volvo is in the north. So I've seen some stuff that's worked on. We have only seen here a little bit of a sampling, but I know some things we are not ready to share about what's coming, and I'm really looking forward to driving north again and kind of pushing the envelope there. So that's kind of my thing. This time I made a choice. I could have picked also the American plans that we have, which are also great. I mean, there's some work. No, I'm stopping here. Okay. Stop speculating. We need to keep some secrets for future.
Yeah. Mark?
I'm gonna pick one from each game.
Okay. Go for it.
So for me, the three, as much as I love the W990 and I had one, I've always had Peterbilt's. And so for me, the 389X and the 389 rework are definitely what I'm looking forward to most. I've been following along on the team's work along the way, and I'm very impressed and looking forward to it. It's actually one of my first tasks when I got to SES was to kind of put together a chart of references and what we should include, what we can maybe ignore, that kind of thing. So also for me, kind of being like my first sort of project, for me there's some personal, I guess, favoritism for it, but for Europe it's rigids for sure. And I'm not, for me in America, like rigids are not really a thing. It's more of a local P&D kind of thing, right? But coming here, and I understand it now why maybe it's something you guys didn't approach for so long, because in Czech Republic, in Germany, you really don't see that many at all. But when you go to, like, when we were up in Elmia and Jönköping in Sweden, they were everywhere. It was like 3 out of 5 trucks was a rigid, and seeing the community, their enthusiasm for it just now has really kind of boosted mine as well. So I'm really looking forward to helping to bring that to fruition as well.
Okay, cool. All right, the giveaway time went fully off, and now it's time to pick 5 winners. So first one, who's gonna get a package of some of our Christmas gifts, is RT6900, followed he's following or she's following us for 4 years now.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Reward for loyalty,
All right.
in a way.
The second one is DEHJVG.
Those are complicated.
Followed
things.
4 years ago as well.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Awesome. Another one. Oh my god, this one is following us even for 6 years.
Hmm.
Etsy Group. Etsy Drope. ATZEGROUBE. Congratulations to you as well. The fourth one is CityMine12. Massive GG to you as well. And the last one is Urban Dog45, if I'm pronouncing that correct. That's our fifth and the last winner of
Is there a
Christmas
visible
giveaway.
list of the nicknames somewhere in Twitch or somewhere? Because just listening to you spelling it, I got totally lost. Sorry.
Someone won.
Someone won.
Yeah, I believe the Nightbot is always like
Okay, the
sending a
Nightbot is
message
going
who
to-
got picked, but
Okay,
chat
okay.
is still at
So
an
active,
elevator.
yeah.
So, all right. So make sure that your Twitch whispers are on because we will need to reach you to get your shipping details to be able to send you a package of Christmas gifts. And I believe now it is everything for what we have time tonight. Mark, Pavel, thank you so much for another year. A lot of streams. 80 streams we did this year.
80 streams.
80, yeah.
Oh my.
We should elevate that number as well.
Are you going to raise the bar?
We need
Even
100.
I mean,
At least.
half the year on the road, the other half of the year like chasing numbers. Are we crazy here? I mean, we do it because we are. You do it because we are as a whole, as a company, really dedicated to this like crazy concept of having a game about big vehicles, and it works, and we are so happy. So thank you guys for sticking around to make this possible.
Absolute pleasure.
Thanks to the team that creates those games. Thanks to the team, to the elements of our team. They actually take care of the team to be happy here in our new home,
Yeah.
because it's a complex thing to have a big studio.
That was also quite a big thing this year, right? To move the company to
Yeah,
their
it was
home. Yeah.
major milestone for us to be in our new home. We are still learning the ropes in a way. We're still, it's still kind of fresh. The building still feels like it has its quirks that needs to be ironed out. But here we are.
Yeah, the disco lights in game design right now.
But most of all, thanks to you, our players, our supporters,
Yes.
our fans,
That's
our
for sure.
super loyal, kind of hardcore core of the community that stays with us, so that not hesitating to spend the time with us during a stream. I find it incredible. Together, we'll get things better again through the next year and beyond. I'm really looking forward to it. And for now, I think Merry Christmas, Happy New Year,
Yeah.
wherever you are.
Yeah.
And we'll see each other soon, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe in my case, it takes a little bit longer, but for you guys, it's never ending, right? Like January
Yeah.
comes.
I believe we will have quite 2 weeks from streaming, but we will be back in January for sure.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
Can't
Thank
think of any
you.
better way to end the stream than that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
and happy Christmas. Have a good
Merry
year.
Christmas.
And bye.
all the best.
Bye-bye.